Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time now for our deciding Game 3, Alliance versus Cloud9. Winner, guaranteed top 2 finish, gets the rest of the day off, gets to watch the loser bracket finals, come back refreshed tomorrow for your grand finals. With that being said, well, could go either way. I'm LD, of course. I'm joined here by Merlini. Ben, who do you think looks better now?
I think Alliance is more unpredictable, I'd say, and I think that goes a very, very long way in this patch. We see a lot of the same stuff from Cloud9, a lot of minus gaming, a lot of the same heroes, and I think that if Alliance can catch Cloud9 off guard, they can win again. If they do something cookie cutter, I don't think they'll win.
Yeah, Cloud9, well, as we hop into Game 3 now, the draft is underway. We're going to see that they're on the dire side, and Roche has been an important point of contest over the past few weeks.
I think they should just straight ban Shadow Shaman in first phase if Alliance is on Radiant.
Oh boy.
It's that much trouble.
Cloud9 go for the Naga here.
That's fun.
So
Batrider is alright to deal with it though. If you can actually get Naga Siren. That's the big problem.
Yeah. They have the Song to work with around the pit. Alliance have the Firefly to work with. So both teams with basically the broken fighting around Roche lineups already. Now going into the Mirana, probably, well, I guess it's been Envy who's played the Naga in the past, right? But maybe they'll just stick them on Mirana if they want to run the Naga solo mid.
I would like to see Alliance run a very early push strat again, too. Because Mirana and Naga Sirens are not the greatest at anti-push. They can get punished very easily if Alliance has a draft to handle it. And I think if they just let Cloud9 go unscathed until like 15-20 minutes, just like sleep in arrows, get free kills, just let Naga Siren get Radiance, and then it's going to be a very difficult game for Alliance to come back from, because Batrider needs to get a lot of kills, and once Naga Siren gets her images out and they have Radiance, he just can't get any kills. All the lanes that are pushed out, it's too obvious when you're ganking, so the problem is they need to hit them early. Hit them hard, get them in the lanes, take down towers.
Well, let's see what they look to do here. They could go into something similar to last game, things like Magnus, Dragon Knight, Pugna, Death Prophet, more of those just map control, win the game around 20-minute mark type draft. I guess the one other option is going ultra-aggressive gank mode, Doom, maybe a Storm Spirit, and just trying to find pickoffs everywhere. But, well, a more balanced approach seems like it plays into Cloud9's hands, because that's where they can just to look to be out more efficient than you, use the Song to control the Roshan pit, and ultimately that puts Alliance in... It basically makes it Cloud9's type of Dota, end of the day. Oh, we'll go Wisp. Something that they used earlier today. It was actually, the Wisp worked out decently earlier.
Wisp was pretty good. They weren't able to use Relocate to its full effect just because of the way Cloud9 was positioned, but I think with a Batrider, it's going to be a lot more effective. They had a Nature's Prophet?
They had a Prophet,
yeah,
aggressive tri-lane Naga,
and
Invoker.
They didn't have too much burst, I think, was a big problem. They had like decent sustained damage, but they just need to be able to like pick off someone really, really quickly before they can get off any damage.
That's where like, I look at the way that DK drafted, and Morphling seems like maybe the better option here. Just you have your lasso, relocate, shotgun combo. You can threaten all over the map.
Morphling just takes a little bit too long to get online, though, for my liking, especially against a Naga Siren. You don't really want to trade farm against a Naga Siren. I don't think any hero like wins out terribly great in that situation.
Bane will be the ban here from Alliance, so a good Mirana partner. They've actually banned 2 Mirana partners, leaving no real great setup for Arrow. I mean, there's
Rubik's okay.
There's some okay stuff, yeah, maybe even like Disruptor Glimpse in certain scenarios, but
Disruptor plus Naga Siren is really good, and Disruptor is pretty good against Batrider and Wisp. So I think Disruptor would be a fantastic pick for Cloud9.
They do run it occasionally as well.
I remember who was it? Pylite I just like straight fed on Disruptor that one time though. Man. Well,
yeah, he had the one game where he died like 8 times.
I wonder if Cloud9 is gonna ban out Tiny though. If they don't, isn't Alliance just gonna take it? Pretty good versus Naga Siren.
Oh yeah, I think they'll take it for sure, and I think Cloud9 will ban it. If they're banning CK, then why would they ban CK and not Tiny?
I don't know why they're taking so long. They're dipping pretty far into the reserve time with this ban.
Oh, there comes the Tiny ban. Maybe just plotting out the next few picks of the draft. and into the Luna, so...
That is greedy. Holy crap.
I mean, basically, last game they got punished for their greed, and, well, this game they'll just be even greedier.
That is...
Bone, so, how are they going to look to lane this? Probably a Bone 7 Mirana.
Could be support Naga.
Yeah, that's true. It could be support Naga.
Support Naga's pretty good for Spat Rider. You don't really want to lasso a support Naga, but at the same time, if you don't, you just get counter-initiated by Song. So this would be a much more interesting game if it's not a mid Naga or a position 1 Naga.
I kind of feel like it won't be either. I mean, I guess they could run Sing Sing Naga, Bone 7 Mirana, and Eternal Envy Luna, but... Well, there goes your Rubik. So, good versus Naga and Luna, potentially able to steal the Eclipse or the Song, though Song, normally pretty difficult to pull off. But, hey, we have seen teams give it away a handful of times before. What will Cloud9 do next? They need, well, either 2 supports or a support and an offlaner here. They'll go into Enigma.
Talk about greed.
This is a nice team fight, though. Song and the Black Hole. Just like the auto GG. Also, you've got... The other nice thing about the Naga Mirana is just the sleep into arrow, or even net into arrow, so they already have some initiation for it.
Alliance, trying to think of what they can do to counter this. Firstly, I think they need, like, tanky heroes. Like, Tiny would have been fantastic here. But, like, if you get BKB, you'll just get focused down. It doesn't do anything versus Hole either. And you can still get net focused down by Naga Siren. So BKB heroes, it's like, rather just go tanky, like Bristle.
I'm a little worried about them running a 1-core draft, though, unless they're putting a lot of pressure on towers early, because they're going up against Ensnare, as well as Black Hole. It's just so much lockdown for a single target.
Yeah, you just need a hero that can just stand there and tank and still do damage at the same time. That's why I would really like Tiny, because Luna is not the highest range, Naga Siren not very large range either. You still can do a lot of damage during Ensnare.
That's true. What will it be for Alliance? Still haven't really tipped their hand as towards the overall approach for this particular draft.
Yeah, what good EO partner?
Now there's your Wit. They're Morphling, so they'll go for the combo I mentioned, the Morphling Wisp.
Yeah, it's pretty good. They don't have that much lockdown for him. They don't have any lockdown. Like, stun is...
Yeah, you can still just toggle on your morph anyway.
Yeah, it's not the greatest. You can still waveform out of Ensnare too, so it's not terribly great. And he can just morph during Enigma's Black Hole. But at the flip side, it means passive farm. So if Cloud9 is going to play super greedy, if they wanted to do Naga mid and run offlane and Luna safe lane and Enigma jungle, they can do it, because Morphling can't punish that.
And now comes the Storm ban. So Cloud9 they're basically worried. I mean, I mentioned there's 2 variants I saw, which is just like the early tower pressure or the mass pickoff lineup, and they're very worried about the mass pickoff, which does seem to be the direction that Alliance is headed. Looking for an S4 hero, probably. In theory, it could be a bat mid. But that's the other thing for Alliance, is it's a little open how they look to lane this one. Generally speaking, we see Alliance are fairly straightforward with their lanes. It's just S4 mid, Bulldog in the off lane, defensive tri-lane, or maybe a roaming support for Ake. But normally they're not that crazy like DK has been historically. But, well, this kind of draft lends itself to some unusual lanes. Could run the bat safe lane solo, morph, Wisp in a dual lane, Rubik +1 in a dual lane. They could just run a bat off lane. They have a very unusual draft in that sense.
Cloud9 needs an offlaner. Not terribly sure who they're gonna pick. Clockwork has been banned out. They could run Nyx again. Nyx is like
Centaur's
okay
still out there.
Yeah, Centaur's pretty good too. Not terribly great at shutting down a Morphling. But Stampede's really good here.
Nah, that's a better choice. They get the Blink Silence initiation. And yeah, it's just a good initiating silence versus the Morphling. It's Alliance now that's also a hero that you're very likely to want to lasso, which means then you're not. That's my one concern for this bat actually is.
Who do you lasso? Too many targets.
Who do you lasso? Naga?
I think they won't be gathered up so much though. Like their lineup is not just like straight 5 down mid. It's a greedy one, split push, split farm, and then eventually you'll want to 5-man. But I think early on, when Bat Rider just gets his Blink Dagger, I think he'll have plenty of targets to lasso without getting punished for it. So Alliance, you still need potentially an offlaner for Admiral Bulldog, or it could be a mid hero for S4, and it will be the Magnus again.
Son of Magnus! Rawr! they've got some good lockdown now, though. You have your RP, your Blink Lasso.
They have to make sure they get Naga, though. If they don't get Naga, like, all their ultimates will be wasted.
Alliance does... This is going to be a buff Morphling. Empower him, give him the overcharge as well as the tether, and he could do a lot of work this game.
I think a lot rests on Magnus's shoulders, too, and Batrider. Those are the two most important heroes on Alliance by far.
Yeah, the crowd's getting psyched over in Romania, and DreamHack Bucharest, our winter bracket finals, about to wrap up. By the time today is done, we go from having 6 games to play down to just our grand finals. So it's been a busy day. The loser bracket final still ongoing. If you haven't already heard, we have 2 streams here at Beyond the Summit. The second one being handled by Gods and Bulba. That's at twitch.tv/Beyond the Summit 2. I believe it's still underway with the Fuzzy Bears. No, whatever. The Bears taking on Fnatic in a best of 3. So I believe Game 2 is underway there. But yep, we're here for Game 3. Cloud9 versus Alliance. Cloud9 on the dire side. They took game number 1. They did it not easily, but they did it in the end. Just slightly too powerful in the late game with a really farm Sing Sing TA and Envy on the Luna. And this time around, they'll go back to a similar draft. It's been a fairly greedy approach from them in all 3 games. Game 1, it worked. Game 2, it was punished by some early pushing. Will it be punished again? That's going to be the question. A game of greed for Cloud9. Sing Sing on your Mirana, heading towards the mid lane. Pylai playing that support Naga. Though don't be fooled, if this game goes on long enough, he may get a Radiance, he may transition into a carry role. Eternal Envy on the Luna. AUI 2000 handling the Enigma. We'll start off by denying some creeps, and that does leave Bone7 as your off-lane Puck on the Radiant side. Alliance, Ake on the Rubik. EGM, your EO, that puts into the safe lane. Loda on the Morphling, so not running the dual lanes we saw of DK. S4 on the Magnus, and last but not least, Bulldog as the off-lane bat. So, more typical lanes from Alliance this game.
Gets his D ward. Oh, Ake.
No.
Nope.
He was expecting this ward.
A little unfortunate for him, but at the same time, he'll know that this one won't spawn, so maybe he'll still be able to deward it. Oh, there he goes. So that's good. That's really good.
50 gold in his pocket as well.
Yep.
Get those boots up.
It just makes it that much easier to zone out Bone7, though. He tried to be sneaky and skilled up Illusory Orb, bought his items really quickly in Illusory Orb once over to here, and then once from the Ancients to over here, but it just wasn't quick enough to not be spotted by Rubik.
They did deny a creep, though, so the lane's going to naturally push in against him regardless, unless they get their pulls off, and as a result, he should see some early experience. This is a pretty good lane to kill Puck, though. They're good at chasing, they've got a lot of burst once the Wisp and the Morphling hit level 2, level 3, and I don't think Puck's going to have that easy of a time. We've seen some drafts where Pucks have just been completely out of control on the offlane, but they should have a good draft to zone him out. Already just plinking away at him. Neither of these supports hitting too hard, but very annoying nonetheless. In the other offlane, Bulldog is also not having very much fun. We'll see Bone7 start stacking the Ancients, get it done early for the Luna. And the mid lane, well, so far, just going to be both heroes focused on getting their bottles up.
How's the CS war going on? There, looks like level 1 Empower for Magnus, but a little bit behind in terms of the CS 3 and 1, but actually that's without this wave dying.
Yeah, S4's been CSing quite well these 2 Magnus games, so at least so far he's doing well in this game, and did very well the last time around this too. Just seems to be, you know, I like to use this phrase just a comfort hero, like a hero that he's just so accustomed to playing. It's like you mind meld and you just know exactly what you're doing. Don't even have to think about it, really.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. Admiral Bulldog taking a fair amount of harass on top, but he's still getting pretty good levels. How is Bone7 doing? Only level 1. 62 experience on him. Not really sure what happened there.
Well, it's just whenever he walks in the lane, they just tether up and they start running at him and right-clicking, like side by side. And he can out-harass the EO, but he can't out-harass both of them.
2-minute rune, spawns top. We'll go Admiral Bulldog's way. He has a haste rune. Maybe he can get a kill on Pylai.
Oh, potentially he can. He's going to take the haste. Now popping the Firefly. Pylai does have an Ensnare available. And AUI's here as well. He's baiting him a bit into the Malefice stun. And out comes the Centaur. He'll try and last hit this one. Won't get it, but does get the experience. Nicely done. Now the Bat going to abandon the offlane. It's just not working out for Bulldog. And we'll begin stacking. We'll probably see him go to the big camp first. He's gotten lucky so far with no Golem, so he'll be happy about that. but not as happy as AUI, who is already level 4 at 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, and has a soul ring up too. It's pretty scary. Pretty scary. But looks like priority will go to Sing Sing with his bottle in the mid lane. How is that for? And Sing Sing squaring off 12 and 2 on Magnus, 10 and 2 on Sing Sing. Sing Sing, that's his comfort hero too.
Yeah, this and the TA has been something he's played a lot with pretty good success as of late, but Mirana's just the bread and butter. Already the stacks are out, so they've built up a big old pile of creeps here, and Alliance can't really take it too easily, to be honest. Even if they do spot it, maybe they can find kills there, but actually stealing the Ancients won't be that possible for them.
Yeah, maybe if Magnus gets huge, gets another Battle Fury, starts cleaving down.
That was like a we're gonna win this game anyway Battle Fury. Had just been sitting on the Perseverance for a refresher, but yeah, hopefully we see one.
Eternal Envy, Bastion, ready to push that tower down. 2 heroes looking for anyone to come in particular Batrider, but Batrider nowhere to be found, just taking out the big stacks.
Yeah, just hiding just outside of Radiant Vision, but as you mentioned,
this is
just
going to be a T1. Very quick.
Yeah, this is where the Luna pick works out pretty nicely, and especially if they want to go for the just most likely just the 1 Midas on Eternal Envy in this game. We don't see as much Midas on the Sing Sing Smarana.
Rubik has TP'd it. Maybe he can Fable and stop the push.
Nah.
Nah.
What you talking about, fool?
4 minutes. First tower down. Not bad at all.
They could actually keep on going. Maybe force a secondary TP, but it would slow down their level progression on the Enigma, and it seems like they'll just settle for that for now.
They need Blink on Bat. But it's not doing badly. Level 4 on him. Puck still measly level 1 with no boots. He's getting a lot of passive gold though, and he has that tower gold in his pocket.
I think the Morphling dual lane with like a Wisp there is one of the better matchups against Puck, because they don't have the most reliable chain stun, but they just do so much damage. A single wave in, and then you throw the spirits on top of that. That's most of the Puck's HP gone, so... Well, Bone7 is going to need his team to clear out the stack. He is very far behind in terms of levels.
Yeah, it's a quad stack.
It's almost too big. Envy's gone treads. But needs the Dominator next if he wants to even attempt this, and they'll need AUI here as well. He keeps on painting it. He's like, guys, I've done something good here for you. Care to come kill them so I can get a level or two?
Yeah, it's so incredibly difficult to kill that this early into the game, though.
Midas is up on Loda. Well, very early Midas for him. Around 5.5 minutes, and that's without taking any towers. Envy hasn't gone as greedy. Cloud9 potentially gearing up for some mid-game pressure and aggression. Take the fight to the Wisp Morphling before the Morphling gets too big.
Mm-hmm. Admiral Bulldog just stacking it up. He's almost level 6 too, so maybe they can get a first split off of that. Moonlight Shadow is up on Mirana in case she wants to use that to gank, but don't really see that happening. Maybe Enigma can set up with a hole.
So, big picture here, what's each team's major goals over the next 5 minutes?
Get big on Luna, take out the Ancient stack, maybe try and control Roshan since they have Luna as well as Enigma and Naga Siren. I think that's what they should be aiming for. Alliances, same old, get level 6 on EO, relocate, get kills, Batrider, Lasso with Blink, get kills, and Blink on Magnus.
Oh.
So, I think Alliances takes a little bit longer to ramp up.
Yeah, and it's once again the treads for S4. And the Arcane Boots are just a distant memory for him at this point. They do also have some additional mana benefits this game, like the Tether mana from a bottle charge.
Mm-hmm.
No Arcane Boots, though. And nobody's going to get them anytime soon, either.
Ward, very aggressive ward placed by Aoi in between the T1 and the T2 in the mid lane. I'm not really sure what that is aiming to accomplish. Maybe just scouting out for ganks on Sing Sing, but I don't think they're going to be able to pressure that tower anytime soon. Magnus is so good at defending T1s, or at least the T1 mid.
4.7. Level 2 Puck trying to clear a quad stack of Ancients.
That's not happening, bro.
That is not happening. He even orbed over the top. Just does like a 70 damage to a dragon or something.
There is a Mask of Death already up on Luna. Not sure whether she's going Mask of Madness or HOD. Usually prefers Mask of Madness. Would be a little bit better for clearing out the camp this early.
Well, The one nice thing about this mid ward is you mentioned the pressure on Sing Sing. It's a fairly commonplace to smoke is near that area of the lane. It's a nice we see players over here as well. But they'll just play it very safe. Very conservative game, number 3. There's quite a bit on the line in terms of, I mentioned you get the rest of the day off. You get to watch the loser bracket finals and relax, but nonetheless, just both teams still needing a lot to come online. Bulldog still needs his Blink Dagger. He's the closest of anyone to his first big item. S4, Tread should be coming out now, but still has to farm the Blink on top of that. And aside from that, I mean, Cloud9 just, they don't have their initiation. Bone 7...
I think they might do Roach right now. They have Smoke, they have the Alpha Wolf. I think they want to go off this.
Well, if they go there, I'm wondering if Bone 7... Oh, he was saving 1,300 gold. I was like, is there any way he just rushes a naked Blink? Not going to happen. Arrow did come through and connects on the Wisp. Just a zoning arrow, letting them know that they're around, and they will go into the Roche pit. Cloud9, they love their early Roches.
So incredibly difficult contest. I don't actually know if these Eidolons are going to respawn, but I guess it doesn't matter. He can just... Oh, yep, there they go.
They actually have the Bat Blink, but there's no Force Staff here, and if he jumps in, just can get Eclipsed, Black Hold. Not to mention he's going top anyway.
Big pick-me-up for C9 here. And gold leads very heavily in their favor, 1,500. Now, after the back of this, that's going to be huge. Bone 7 will pick up a couple of levels off this. So nice for him. Actually, Enigma will leave just so Bone 7 gets a little bit more. Level 4.5.
Yeah, there's your catch-up levels. He was pitting the Ancients, but they'll do those next. Bone 7, who started this game off level 1 when the enemy offlaner was level 3 or 4, is not
now they're taking
quite
out
back in it, but they will be after the Ancients.
This is huge. They do have an Observer Ward there, but they can't really do anything about it.
Well, they don't have level 6 on the Wisp. The Bat's all the way at the top side of the map. The Morphling's gone for an early Midas and isn't ready to fight yet, and there's no Blink on Magnus, so like you said, there's absolutely nothing they can do.
So much gold.
What a great comeback mechanic. Bone 7 hits level 5, he's got Arcane Boots online, 500 gold as well, and they really are right back in it. Blink Lasso has found Sing Sing mid lane, they'll have to RP for this as well. No hesitation. It's a beatdown mid, and it is a first blood to Alliance, but hey, Cloud9 got a Roche, they got a massive Ancient stack, it's okay to give that up.
Looks like XP is just about even, though, even off the back of Roshan and a huge Ancient stack. Still, nice Blink timing out from Admiral Bulldog, securing first blood. So, looks like all in all, gold, 3,000 gold lead. I hear a black hole.
Loda.
I see a black hole.
That's some hate. Eclipse and black hole. Kill secured and...
Jeez.
Loda down.
That is mad hate. He did buy Trez before he died, though, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, they did have to use 2 very long cooldown ultimates. That's going to be almost 200 seconds with no black hole and about 150 with no eclipse. So basically 2.5, 3 minutes where Cloud9 will just be farming. They do pick up drums on the Luna. And with no Magnus Blink Dagger yet, they'll have to just wait for their next engagement. But it's coming soon, and at that point, you've got a Bat with a Blink, a Wisp who should have relocate soon, and a Blink up on the Mag as well. Alliance can start exerting pressure on the map. Meanwhile, for Cloud9,
everything's about to click.
Bone 7 doesn't have Blink yet, so they're not able to be quite as aggressive.
Yeah, he opted for Arcane. I'm actually surprised he went for Arcane. If he didn't have Arcane, he could go Naked Blink if he wanted to.
They found EGM behind the tower. I'll try and tango through. He looks for the tether out, but not going to happen. The Lucid Beam connects, and EGM will go down. Just wanted to secure his level 6, but pays the Piper. And Cloud9 will take another tower. So no Eclipse, no Black Hole, but with Wisp dying, with Mag not having RP, not having his Blink yet,
they can keep going.
Cloud9 are finding their openings.
This Alpha Wolf, so much deeps.
Yeah, the R stack is strong with these ones, and on top of that, they've got the drums as well.
So this might just be a free T2. Still no RP up for 5 seconds and no Blink on him.
They're rotating towards the bottom lane now. Sing Sing, Envy, AUI all grouped up pretty close together. No real engagement just yet.
They have the Aegis, but still not that confident into the fight. If Magnus, for some reason, does have Blink, or Batrider gets a good initiate off, that can just put them in a potentially very disastrous situation without the full team there.
Flame Break comes through on Pylai Die. Okay, he's stolen something from Sing Sing here. It's the Star Storm. That's a lot of damage for a Rubik. Level 3 Fade Bolt. Potentially the double Star Storm as well. He could do like to a single target upwards of 600, 700 damage with that.
There's a blink dagger.
Double blink.
The smoke wraparound from C9. Not really sure what their end goal here is. Either to get a kill on Loda or get the T2 on bottom. Looks like Loda is right about to pop the smoke. There it goes.
And Psalm to start this one off. They've got no black hole to follow it up. They'll need to connect with an arrow here. Loda can look to wave out, but not if they time it perfectly. Arrow's going to come through. He's already strength morphed quite a few bit, but is it enough? Yes, it is. Relocate brings him back. EGM with the quick escape route. Well, he'll go down for this, but saving the Morphling, well worth it.
Yeah, and this just spends a lot of their time, too. They're just sitting there for 12 seconds. Are they even going to get a kill on them?
One more right click. They can actually do it. It looked like an easy kill. Wow. Tanking up, tethering out, EGM. Some sick plays.
Man, I thought that maybe he had like that much foresight. Okay, Creep Wave's going to spawn in 5 seconds. Okay, they're on their way here.
I think it's one step at a time. It's like, my carry's dying. Tether, relocate out. Oh shit, now how do I get out safely? But he pulls it together.
Very nice play.
That was super nice.
That just wasted so much of C9's time. And that's a really long Naga Saturn cooldown, too.
They have a lot of really long cooldowns.
And a smoke.
Clip, Song, and Black Hole. They need those. I mean, if not every single one, then the vast majority need to be hitting. Well,
Alliance, they still have yet to get another kill past First Blood, and no lasso used in a good 4 or 5 minutes time, but C9 have not really presented any opportunities. You don't really want to lasso the Luna, since she has Aegis. You don't want to lasso without Naga Saturn ultimate down, but now that it is, might be a small window to get a couple of kills. C9 just out-greeding, though, very heavily. 5,000 gold lead in favor.
Yeah, they do have a 3-tower advantage, so 3 towers and the Roche, that is pretty much all of their lead.
Morphling just takes such a long time to come online. He does have his ultimate orb, though, so he is relatively close to his Lincoln Sphere.
The thing is, when DK ran a similar draft, they were running it with Lycan, so the Morphling hit so incredibly hard, even before he had Shotgun, even before he had even his Lincoln Sphere, but this game, he's got to farm that up. He's got to do it the hard way. And so far, even with the S4 Blink, oh, there's your relocate. Top lane, they found Pylai Die. No Song available, waving through from Loda. Kill secured. But Naga bought a Blink before going down. Nice little pickup.
Oh, wow. That's really big. Now she doesn't have to worry about getting lassoed. That's huge counter initiate.
Yeah, let's see if he's quick on the double tap.
Oh, he's farmed. Arcane and Blink Dagger.
It's those towers. 3 towers in the Roche. That's the entire team getting almost 1,000 gold. Each player.
Yeah, she's not that far in level or 4th worst in CS.
Well, S4 still sitting on RP. We've only seen the one so far this game, and now he'll go for the second. Pulls Insane Sane. They'll lift him up, toss him down with the Starstorm, but it's just not enough damage with these early drums. He's a bit too tanky. Ake and S4 also on the run, and now the song's ready. They'll pop it. They've got a level 2 Eclipse. This could be a complete disaster for Alliance. Envy looking for the Eclipse. The Black Hole's there as well. Murders both of them, even with the Flame Break. Well timed by Bulldog, but simply not enough. Tether up on the Bulldog. Won't keep him safe. The net holds him in place. They take the 3. They take the tower as well. And in one fell swoop, Cloud9 grabbed this game by the throat.
Yeah, Mirana is too tanky. They need one more person there. And Batrider was a little bit too close to EGM too. The tether to try and save him just was not far enough to move, and that's very swift. 2 towers might even be 3. They don't have RP up.
I think they could force it actually, but they're gonna play it safe. And
I mean, they don't have to. Their late game is slightly better, I'd say, and they're just so far ahead of gold right now that they have so much map control because Alliance can't take a fight.
Well, apparently Alliance won that fight, so today I learned. I'm getting shushed by K-pop. Yeah, it's fixed now. Cloud9, of course, coming out on top there, but very nicely done.
4 staff on Batrider. They need to keep getting kills with lasso and
they need
with
to
RP.
start finding kills, honestly. Like
they
haven't had that
though.
many.
Like they couldn't have killed Luna for a long time because she had Aegis. It's almost a full 3-minute Roshan respawn, by the way. And then now Naga-san with a blink. If they don't see her on the map, they can't really go for a kill, or this get counter initiated with Black Hole.
It is tough, but that's pretty much the idea of their draft. Is split push a bit with the Morphling Wisp and find pickoffs with the double Blink Daggers and relocate. If they're not doing that,
it's true.
They're not winning this game.
Yeah, I think they have to split push a little bit more.
It's a bit risky now that Cloud9 have taken so many towers because they have a Blink Dagger on the Puck, they've got a Blink Dagger on the Naga. They can actually counter split push fairly effectively.
Yeah. Still, Loda's really difficult to kill, though.
Bulldog is chilling near the Ancients. Maybe looking for an initiation here. Smoked up, but it is about to end. Probably hoping Envy comes to farm these, but it won't be so lucky as of yet. Now Firefly's over the tree line. Is he going to go into Pylai Die? Jumps in. Now forced to back out. Barely makes it up the cliff, and well, he'll make it out safely in the end.
Really close to getting Pylai Die. I think even if he gets Pylai, though, Puck will just coil, and he'll probably fall immediately after.
Tower's starting to take some pressure. In comes the Mirana, looking for EGM. Is he going to find the initiation? Oh, sorry, not the Mirana, the Luna. The other cat lady. Right-clicking away, Lucid Beam cooling down. He could have dropped an Eclipse to secure that kill, but didn't want to waste it. And they found Loda as well, so they'll lose the Wisp. Or they'll save the Wisp here, but Loda won't be so lucky. Does he have a replicate available? Nope, it's still cooling down, and well, he's trapped. A wave in a bit deeper, but the Puck will follow him. I think he can do this alone, though. He'll need some help. The Moonlight, or the Blink in from the Mirana, the Leap in, and Starstorm will connect. They secure the kill. Now they'll go for the Tier 1 mid as well. They get the Morphling kill. Well, is the tower going to be the trade? Song, Blink, Song, finds Ake, finds S4 as well. Got to be careful about Ake stealing this one, though. Al's going to come through. He needs the Riptide immediately. Does it before Ake can actually get it off. Now the tether through. EGM on the run. They've lost 2 here. They could lose EGM as well. Flame Break, not going to do enough. Pylai Die gets the kill as well. Goes to Sing Sing with the last hit and continues the chase. Looking for Ake. It could be a team wipe. Cloud9 overrunning the Alliance here. And now they find more. Eclipse from EE. No mercy. Nail in the coffin. 5 heroes dead. Score 10-2. And now for the middle lane. Straight down they'll push. They'll go for the GG.
I'm so surprised that Nagasarn was ignored in game 2 until the 4th pick. This hero is just so incredibly strong. Song of Siren has pretty much straight up 1-2 team buys for them right now, and they're pushing high ground 20 minutes in. You don't even need to run her as a 1 position to see her full strength.
Yeah, she is still pretty beastly.
Pylai has been playing really well on the Naga.
It's such a flexible pick as well because she's actually good at everything. She's good at support, she's great as a carry, and you pick it up early, but you don't necessarily know how they're going to play it.
She can play safe lane, she can play mid. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, Naga's a good hero, like you said.
It just works wonders against Batrider, too. I think if you pick Batrider first, you can't give up Naga. The counter initiate is just way too strong.
Well, all things considered, S4 will just find whatever he can. He'll scrape a little out of the bottom of the barrel. Takes the tier 1 mid, does get the last hit, preventing the deny from Cloud9, but I mean, they got team wiped again. They're down by 14k gold. Alliance are up against it, and should they lose this game, they get no rest today. They'll have one more best of 3. It'll be either against Fnatic, a rematch of the team they beat earlier, or potentially against the just huggable Bears. Dendi Havos +3.
This is Alliance's strategy, though, is what C9 likes to play, though. It's, hey, we play greedy with 1 hero, or 2 heroes, or 3 heroes sometimes, maybe even 4, with Morphling in this case, and then just get kills around the map with the Space Makers. And Cloud9 is just so incredibly good at that type of game, as we saw in Game 1. And I'm very surprised that Alliance went for this very easy to play against strat. C9 has just been doing this for months now.
Yeah, I mean, look at how Game 2 went. They just said, you know what, we're going to win the game in 20 minutes, and that's what they did. It's a little surprising they didn't try for something similar again. I guess they had the dire advantage last time, and this time they don't. Bulldog will blink out. He dodges away from a net. Bone 7 continues pursuit, though. Blink's cooling down. He's going to go for a jumpsuit in the coil. No, he'll back off. Actually, he blinks out. He's a little scared.
Look at Pylai Die. He has Ultimate Orb on top of his Blink and Arcane.
Well, he's going to go into carry Naga mode. I mean, it could just be a Lincoln Sphere to ensure that he doesn't get lasso. That would be quite a strong choice as well.
Oh, the BKB up on Owie. They can stop it with an RP or a lasso, but barring exceptional positioning from Alliance, it's not going to be cancelled.
Yeah, when you're talking about spells like that, which have such like limited reach, it's very easy to just jump in and actually get caught by the black hole as well. And they just can't find these pickoffs. Have we seen a single... We've seen one offensive relocate gank that I can remember, which was this gank on the Naga top.
Yeah, they had 2 kills. One first blood on Sing Sing in mid with the newly acquired Blink on Batrider, and then the relocate on left side into a... or lasso into a relocate.
That was pretty much it. There's not much pressure on the map.
Yeah, we saw 1 kill attempt in mid with Rubik and Magnus trying to kill Potom, but that got quickly turned around. Loda still working on that Ghost Scepter. Ghost Scepter is... or EB is nice, but at the same time, there's, like, who you really going to target? Enigma, you can't, because he has BKB. Puck is... you don't really want to waveform into him either.
Yeah, potentially you get silence, they can just turn the fight around a bit on you, and there also might be a Lincolns for the Naga as well. Just something, some extra spell block. Well, Alliance just maneuvering for any kind of positioning right now. Mjolnir comes out for your Mirana. They can throw this on Eternal Envy, who's just picked up a Satanic, and on that note, they will smoke. Cloud9, they'll head down mid. If they win a fight here, this is going to be your first lane of Rax. Already is exposed. It's at full HP for now, and they head straight in. From the high ground comes Admiral Bulldog, looking for the opening here. There's a Blink Song in. Pylai thought that there was someone up the cliff, but in fact he was wrong. It was Bulldog over this direction. So the song gets wasted. They were going for the game-deciding fight there. Even with it missing, I mean, the safe play is to back off with Song down, but do they even need to be worried is the real question.
Mjolnir buff on Luna. She has Aegis. She has Satanic. She is not scared.
Not at all. The coil gets deployed here by Bone 7. Bulldog going to get stunned out a bit. Now S4 will skewer him deep behind enemy lines. Envy's going to die once. Will he die a second time? Pylai comes in. Sing Sing looking to bring some heroes down. They RP Envy. He's dropping low. He needs to get off the Satanic. He can't get it off in time. Envy has fallen. The push has lost a lot of its strength, but still the Rex go down. And now they'll retreat out. Blinking forward is S4. He gets 4-staffed in. Doesn't have a skewer. Now eats a Malefice to the face. The turnaround cometh. Look for the black hole. AUI doesn't even need it. Everyone just drops too fast. He's like, well, I probably shouldn't bother. Don't want to give it away to the Rubik either. So then they'll just back off in the end. Bit of a retreat here from Mode 7, trying to orb his way up to the high ground. He'll phase shift, he'll dodge out. Magnus ball back, he tries to find the kill, and he will be successful in doing so. They didn't even need a black hole that fight. They did lose Envy, they lost their Aegis, but Rex are down.
Yeah, it was a risky play by Nagasaki going for the Song of Saturn and definitely cost Envy's life right there.
Cloud9, in spite of that, are in pretty damn good shape. Running their draft, which can... You could argue all 5 of these heroes go well late game, and winning the laning stage this convincingly. They've got 3 of the top 4 farmers, up by a lot of gold, a lot of experience.
Map control.
Yeah.
Rax down. Alliance did a good job of dragging Eternal Envy to a very unfavorable position, though.
Yeah, that was like the ideal initiation. They catch out the Luna, they pull her way back in here, and they do that just with the lasso, and then they've got RP left for the second round of... after the Aegis ends, and she respawns. But
yeah,
still wasn't enough to stop the Rex from going down.
Fighting on the T4s, though. Just... good luck.
Good luck, have fun. Well, Cloud9 now. Maybe you'll wait for this next Roshan to actually force the high ground again, and they'll have to wait some time. It's going to be about... looks like at least 4+ minutes or so. 4 to 7. They'll smoke up again. E-Blade comes online now, but that also means Loda won't have his buyback. He won't be the victim of this initial smoke.
Admiral Bulldog.
It'll be Bulldog. Who actually goes on to Envy. They're expecting to relocate on the top over this. Where's that relocate? It's a bit far back, in fact. They've come very far behind, and now they've relocated into trouble. Into a whole lot of it. They should just run. And they're going to do that. That was unlikely to work, even if they relocated in the right spot, and... Going into the wrong spot.
He has like 1900 HP with Agi treads. So, looks like they'll push at the back of that. How is Admiral Bulldog's buyback looking? He does not have it. He bought back already. Ruh-roh.
Now the Lucent Beam just chipping away. And okay, stolen a Moonlight Shadow here. Potentially can use it to get off a good initiation. Cloud9. Is there a gem? No gem available. They do throw off an initial shotgun on Pylai. Just an initial blast to let him know what's up, but... No follow-up to that. And the other thing is that if they clump, Pylite can just blink Song, and then they can go in for the black hole. So they've got to be very careful to mind their positioning here. Song is online. Envy into the front line. Sing Sing can deploy the Mjolnir buff momentarily on him. Keep Envy very scary to initiate upon. The Song's going to start it off. Blink Song is here. Is there a good black hole even available? Envy's looking for an Eclipse. The arrow comes through on S4. They're trying to chain everything up properly. AUI doesn't want a BKB. Doesn't want a Song yet. Now he's lasso. He's isolated in this fight. Can't get off the black hole. Finally unwinds it. Only connecting on EGM. Well, is it enough damage? Doesn't look like it. 3 heroes dead. The Mjolnir is just crushing through everyone. Envy will fall though. It's a 4 for 4 with a buyback from the Wisp. They do hang on. And Loda gets a lot of kills out of that.
They needed a sentry ward on... Well, I think he stole Moonlight Shadow.
Yeah, stole Moonlight Shadow before the fight, yeah.
And then Magnus was just sitting under the guise of that. He was hit by a very long duration arrow from Mirana after his sleep.
Well, Alliance come out on top at the end of that. The main thing is not just the Golden Experience win, but this. They defend their racks.
Yeah, pretty big for them. C9, though, they will have Roshan up pretty soon. And if they actually half decently execute their spells, like not a solo black hole onto a Wisp, and not being able to get a kill after a nice arrow, I guess you can't really expect that sort of situation, though. And yeah, sentries.
Pylite died basically. He saw what he thought was a good opening, and he just blinked it and songed. And unfortunately, you had one hero over here, one hero over here. I think there was somebody like over in this region, and like you said, they didn't have much detection for the Moonlight Shadow, so not much they could do. But Aki making the plays overall on the Rubik.
Aki indeed, and Magnus had a really nice RP too, hitting 3 heroes, getting the Enigma right when he was about to black hole during his BKB.
Yeah, he was stunned for ages and just took too much damage in the end. There will be a Mask of Madness now for the Batrider. Bulldog getting some good long-range initiation, and this does play to the strengths of the Morphling Wisp combo. Good at getting the pickoffs from distance, from anywhere on the map, and now they've got an extra mobile bat to help make it happen. Not out of the woods just yet for Cloud9. It's looked good so far, but they gotta bring home the prize here. Need that second lane of Rex. Once they get that, if they get it, the game's pretty much in hand. But before then, can't get too overconfident. It's still just so risky for Alliance, though. One good Blinks on the black hole is game, and with Aegis, they might not even need that to take the second lane of Rex. And the Rosh is up now. Probably going to be Cloud9's next objective here. They'll clear out their own Ancients. Buyback status for both teams. We're looking at 2 for Alliance and 4 for Cloud9.
Eternal Envy's farm has slowed down a lot, though. He had Satanic, like, quite a long time ago. I think, even, like, right after they got the Aegis. And now it's been, like, 10 minutes and only farmed 1,000 gold since then. So, I mean, Alliance's holds have cost C9 a fair amount of gold. But Roshan's up now.
It's just going to be Mass Lincolns for Cloud9. They have already have one on AUI 2000, and they're getting one now on Pylite Die. So, double Lincolns is coming out. That's going to negate the bat initiation, and it will also negate the shotgun. That's actually a pretty good item this game, Lincoln Sphere.
Roshan likes it too.
Well, Roshan gets the beat down.
That's the cheese too. C9 have just been doing an incredible job of securing Roshan too. Both Game 1 and Game 3, they play really well on the Dire side and just make use of the inherent advantage that some people say that Dire has, whereas Alliance just went for a completely different strategy and just say, well, screw it, we don't really care what side we're on, we're just going to push the safe lane with Pugna too. So I think Alliance should maybe draft more Roche-centric lineups when they are on Dire.
To be fair, Cloud9 did get Roche, or Dire. Basically, they got Roche because they were Dire twice this series, so... like you said, I mean, they didn't really go for a Roche-centric draft in game number 2, but they also did win that game anyway.
Right.
Can't argue too much with the results, but no. Now they have the double Lincoln Sphere. They can throw an Eternal Envy here. Or sorry, Naga hasn't had hers delivered yet, but it is about to arrive. Voidstone, Lincoln Sphere on the Courier, and they're gonna force this high ground again. This time there won't be the easy lasso initiation. Keep our eyes on S4. Can he find that good RP? Blink our BKB RP is online. It's available. But Cloud9 just sitting back behind the Luna. Tower dropping low. Might even go down just to idle on volleys. In fact, it will. Denied by S4. But the base is slowly eroding beneath Alliance's feet. More Naga illusions come in. They'll send some mid just to riptide the wave and clear it out. And Now we go for round 2. Cloud9 looking for the GG here. They'll wait for Eternal Envy. He'll rejoin the team. He's got 2,700 gold online. In terms of buybacks, we're still looking at 2 for Alliance and now 3 for Cloud9. So that plus an Aegis, plus a cheese. They have up to 10 bodies, 10 lives to throw at this last fight. They'll lose the first Lincoln Sphere on Envy immediately. Now they go in for the last, so that's their opening. The Lincoln Sphere was thrown out a split second late, but this means Song. This means an opening, perhaps for AUI 2000. They begin with an arrow, use it on Loda. Now the BKB from AUI. This time he'll get it off early. Loda does shotgun. He waves over the top, trying to clear up Sing Sing. Won't be able to do so. Goes down, buys back instantly, and the Glaives are just slaughtering the base at this stage. Can they fight now? Loda forced to buy back. They're still an RP. Black Hole still available. They're still waiting this one out. Very hard to go in. Alliance, no. If they lose Loda again, that's game. And while they're busy waiting around, they lose Bulldog as well. No, one more right click, not enough damage. Now the RP, just onto Eternal Envy. Skewered back into the tower. They net up S4. Toss the Luna back down the other direction. There's no Eclipse stolen, though. They really needed that extra damage. They simply don't have it right now. Aki on the run. A blink forward. And Cloud9 are just bringing the hammer to Alliance. This should be it. Loda's going to drop here in the shadow of his own base. He just bought back. He dies back. And Cloud9 will take it 2-1. Your winner bracket champions at DreamHack Bucharest. And now they'll move their way into the grand finals. They get to sit back, relax, and watch Alliance play in the loser bracket finals a bit later today. And, well, 2-1 against your TI3 champions. Not too shabby.
GG, well played. GG, well played. C9 looks slightly one-dimensional, I say, but what they're so damn good at the strategies that they run that it's just so difficult to counter. And unless Alliance brings something completely different like they did in Game 2, then they didn't really have a good shot at that game at all.
Just a variety. It's a variety of heroes. It is kind of the same strategy in some ways, but they execute it very well. Now they're in the grand finals. So haven't gotten to see Fnatic yet today. That's the one team we have not cast. If they haven't already finished, they are still playing right. They have finished. So we're going to spoil that series right now. Cover your ears if you don't want to hear it. They lost. So Fnatic are out, and Dendi Havos +3 will get a crack now at Alliance. That'll be our final match of the day. And with that being said, the brackets are actually up, so the first team eliminated is Fnatic, once again thwarted at a LAN. They did take home their first championship in, well, in a little while. They won the XMG Invitational. Unfortunately, here at DreamHack Bucharest, they're the first team out. The Fuzzy Bears still alive for now. And Alliance will be waiting for them. So that's going to be a best of 3. That's your final match of the day. We have a bit of a break, though. It's about 3 hours and 15 minutes. Don't ask me why. I imagine something to do with the scheduling of the venue, of the main stage, but so it goes, folks. That's going to be your final match. 3 hours and 15 minutes to go. Then the Bears face off against Alliance. Winner has a date with Cloud9 in the grand finals. That will be tomorrow. I'm LD. Of course, he's Merlini, and we're joined here by K-Pop Tosis manning the stats once again. We'll see you guys in a little bit for our final series. Stay tuned.